Did you know that some veggies in your fridge might be causing trouble for your kidneys? Even though they look good and crunchy, they could be secretly harming your kidney health. Let's check out the foods that might be quietly damaging your kidneys. And don't forget to stick around for the last one. You might be eating it every day. Bananas. For individuals with chronic kidney disease, it's crucial to cut down on potassium in the diet, as we discussed earlier. The kidneys responsible for filtering blood and eliminating waste products also regulate potassium levels. The infamous banana is a widely recognized potassium source, with about 422 milligrams in a single banana. Due to their low calorie count and delightful taste, people often consume multiple bananas at once. For those with kidney disease aiming for 1,500 to 2,700 milligrams of potassium daily, just one banana can provide 15 to 28% of the recommended intake. If you've been advised to reduce potassium, but bananas are a staple in your diet, it can be challenging. Unfortunately, many other tropical fruits present similar potassium issues. However, pineapples stand out as a healthier and less potassium-intensive substitute, making them a delicious alternative. Tomatoes. Tomatoes might not be the best choice for a kidney-friendly diet because they have a lot of potassium. You can enjoy tomatoes in various ways, like fresh, in stews, or as sauce, and they're quite versatile in cooking. However, a single cup of tomato sauce can have as much as 728 milligrams of potassium. Even though tomatoes are a common ingredient in many dishes, you can easily find tasty alternatives with lower potassium. It all depends on what you like. Instead of tomato sauce, you might try roasted red pepper sauce, which is just as delicious but has fewer calories. Your taste preferences will help you decide on the low potassium option that suits you best. Avocados. Avocados are seen as really healthy because they have good fats, fiber, and antioxidants. But if your kidneys are not working well, you might want to be careful with avocados. People with kidney problems need to watch how much potassium they eat. Normally, a person with healthy kidneys can have around 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day. But if your kidneys are not feeling good, it's better to keep it between 1,500 and 2,700 milligrams. Avocados have about 700 milligrams of potassium in one fruit. If you still want to eat avocados and have kidney issues, you can have a smaller portion, maybe just a quarter of the fruit. This way you can enjoy avocados without having too much potassium, which is better for your kidneys. Spinach. It might sound surprising, but the spinach that made Popeye strong could be harmful for people with kidney disease, and it's linked to oxalates. Oxalates are found in many foods naturally. Around 80 of kidney stones are made of calcium oxalate. For those dealing with kidney stones, it's recommended to limit oxalate intake to 40 to 50 milligrams daily. Now, why should you be cautious with spinach? Well, one serving of spinach has about 100 milligrams of oxalates. Spinach also packs a punch in terms of potassium. Uncooked spinach contains 136 to 290 milligrams of potassium per cup. Even when you cook leafy veggies like spinach, they may lose some volume, but not their potassium content. Cooked or raw, spinach remains high in potassium. So if you're keeping an eye on your potassium intake, be aware that half a cup of cooked spinach has much more potassium than the same amount of raw spinach. Pickles. It seems like pickle jars are a common sight in households, but before going all in on a pickle-heavy diet, it's wise to check on your kidney health. For now, let's focus on the sodium aspect, setting potassium aside. A healthy adult's daily salt intake should ideally be between 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams. Now, you might be wondering about the salt content in a single pickle. It's close to 1,200 milligrams, which is around 80% of your recommended daily limit. Foods that undergo curing or pickling, like pickles, processed olives, and relish, often get a hefty dose of salt in the process. A diet high in sodium can lead to health issues such as high blood pressure and kidney stones. So it might be a good idea to step away from the pickle jar to keep your sodium intake in check. Potatoes and sweet potatoes. Potatoes and sweet potatoes are vegetable sources rich in potassium. A medium-sized baked potato has 610 milligrams of potassium, while a similarly sized baked sweet potato contains 542 milligrams. The good news is, you can reduce the potassium level in these vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes through soaking or leaching. Studies indicate that cooking potatoes, especially in cold water, can significantly lower their potassium content. Soaking potatoes for 5 to 10 minutes in water can reduce their potassium content by up to 20%. This process is known as potassium leaching or the double cook method. While potatoes still retain some potassium even after this double cooking, the concentration of this nutrient is lower. However, it's essential to note that even after being boiled twice, potatoes can still have considerable amount of potassium, so it's wise to keep an eye on your intake. Oranges. It seems like our list is presenting some challenges. While oranges are generally well-liked, the high potassium content in citrus fruits might not be the best for renal patients keeping an eye on their weight. Kidney disease often leads to an accumulation of potassium and other minerals in the blood, potentially causing heart problems. For instance, an 8-ounce serving of orange juice has about 458 milligrams of potassium, and one orange has around 330 milligrams. If you're not finding satisfaction with just a glass of orange juice in the morning, there are alternatives. Grapes, apples, and cranberries, along with their juices, can be good substitutes for oranges and orange juice. These fruits have lower potassium levels, which can be more kidney-friendly. Processed red meat. For quite some time, processed meats have been considered unhealthy due to the inclusion of preservatives. Processed meats undergo preservation processes, often involving high sodium content for flavor enhancement and longer shelf life. Trying to keep your daily sodium intake under 2,300 milligrams can be challenging if you consume a lot of processed meat. Processed meats are also rich in protein. If you've been advised to limit your protein intake, it's wise to cut back on processed meats as well. Studies show that patients with kidney disease who regularly include processed red meat in their diets face 3 times the risk of developing kidney failure compared to those who opt for fresh vegetables. Meats like bacon, pepperoni, jerky, sausages, and hot dogs fall into this processed meat category. Whole wheat bread. People with kidney issues might be uncertain about the best bread choice for them. These days, it's commonly believed that any bread is better than white bread. Whole wheat bread, in particular, is praised for its abundance of vitamins, minerals, and higher fiber content, indicating potential health benefit. However, for individuals with kidney disease, white bread is often recommended over whole wheat. The reason lies in its lower levels of phosphorus and potassium. The phosphorus and potassium content in bread tends to increase with the presence of bran and whole grain. A single slice of whole wheat bread contains about 75 milligrams of phosphorus and 69 milligrams of potassium. If you're making a sandwich, that adds up to 150 milligrams of phosphorus and 138 milligrams of potassium, and that's before considering any meat. In contrast, a regular slice of white bread contains about 29 milligrams of phosphorus and potassium. So for those watching their kidney health, opting for white bread might be a more suitable choice.